Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This is the first Friday, so we will be studying the Bhagavad Gita, which usually is arranged by the Vedanta Studies Circle, Naperville. So let us begin. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Mritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadeshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsacharnuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Gurum. We were studying the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord is explaining the three qualities, three guna, gunatraya vibhaga yoga. Why the three qualities? Because explain it the power by which he is binding us. So the 14th chapter is important because, and he is giving the lot of explanations, and because these three gunas are only binding us. So he says over here is the gunas, the sattva, raja and tama. These are the three qualities. You know that in the Vedanta they always say that God has created this universe and God wants the best creation, the human being, to know him. So that idea he has given in the minds of the human being. At the same time, the God has also created some temptations, pralobhana, and that all the time our mind is going towards that. So we cannot go to God. This is very peculiar. God has created us, God has created our mind, God has created some of the objects that our mind should go over there. At the same time, God himself is coming down in the form of an avatara, and in this case as a Sri Krishna, and asking us, don't go for that. Because they are all illusory. My qualities are actually making all those. What are the qualities? Sattva, Raja and Tama. So he will be explaining in this 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita very details, so that we can understand what are the three qualities that is standing between God and me. And these are the three hurdles we have to overcome. So very details he is giving. And these three, where from it is coming, is Prakriti. And this Prakriti, the primal energy, they say, the Prakriti, is Prakriti different from God? No. The Prakriti, it depends on God, the God's power. Then at the same time, this Prakriti, the God's power, cannot do any harm to God. These three qualities, they are not allowing us to see God, to realize God, to understand the truth. Life after life we are trying, people are trying to reach over there. Now, where from it is coming? From God. Where these three qualities are resting, the source of the three qualities, Prakriti. Prakriti from the God. Does it mean that God is also affected by these three qualities? No. That is unique. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna explained this with a wonderful example, and he says, see, the snake is having the poison within it, and that poison, if it is giving to some other being, they are dead. But the snake, having the poison all the time with it, is not having any no affection, affected. Nothing wrong is happening. No poison can work in the snake's body. Similarly, the God is having this type of three qualities by which he is binding the all being. Now, this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and many others, they said, why God is doing like that? They said, this is divine play. He wants to play in this way. It is his creation and he is playing like that. And why the God is giving the details of the gunas? Because the main purpose of spiritual life is to go beyond these gunas. And that's why Nistrai Gunna Bhava Arjuna, in the Lord himself is telling, these gunas belong to me. Through the gunas I bind you. Now I am telling, as a teacher, go beyond the gunas. How will you go beyond the guna? Understanding the characteristics of these gunas. And slowly, slowly you have to understand, oh, these are three gunas, and this is this, this is this, this is, I have to go beyond this. And this is called spiritual practices. Sadhana, 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 so many times we have spiritual practices, the great something. It is nothing like that. Only just very simple way we have to understand these are the three qualities. They are standing in between God and me, and these qualities I will understand in this way. I have to overcome these three and I realize God. It is as simple as like that. When you say like that, it is as simple. But when we are working with that, that is difficult. Now, the God is giving us in this way the become free. Free from qualities equal to God realization. When you go beyond the three qualities, mind it, not the two qualities, oh, that is Raja is bad, Tama is of course bad, Sattva is good. No, Sattva also binds us. And now we will go through that. Now, how has created this, how the God has created this universe? With the power of the gunas. Who created? God. How he has created? With his power, using his own power. And what is this Prakriti? The combination of three gunas. And we were reading, we have already completed up to 8, from 9 to you will read. The 5th verse, the three gunas bind the soul in the body. In the 5th verse is very clearly mentioning the three gunas binding our soul. Now, what is this soul? Reflection of the actual original consciousness on our intellect. Reflection of the consciousness on our intellect, buddhi. And that buddhi, it thinks that this is me. And when that is thinking, then immediately the three qualities binding. How? In the 6th it says, Sattva bind by giving, I am happy, I am wise, this type of feeling. Most of the people, when they, majority of the people, they don't understand what is this. So they suffer and suffer and suffer. So 84 million times we take birth and then we understand, oh, this is terrible, this is too much. Every time we are taking birth, every time we are dying, every time we are thinking that we will achieve this, we will achieve that, and nothing we can achieve. So it is enough is enough. That is called mumukshuta. That is the beginning of the journey of spirituality. I like to go beyond this. It is enough. Those who like to continue, let them continue. So this is the beginning. And then we understand that God has created this universe. And now if I like to go back to the source, that is the God, I have to overcome these three qualities by which He has created this universe. What is that? The first three gunas in the fifth sloka of the 14th chapter, Lord said, I made it by three gunas, three qualities. Sixth, He says, this is sattva. Now He is introducing the sattva. What is this sattva? I am happy. When we are practicing spirituality, happiness comes. And when that happiness comes, most of the people, they think, oh, I have now achieved. Most of the people. They think they are very higher in spiritual life. They have reached to that higher level. And there they are very satisfied. The moment the satisfaction comes, I am happy. I don't have any bondage. That means that is the bondage. This is really, really very interesting. When we are thinking that we have reached to that high, that is also very, very rare when people reach to that. So when they think that I am happy, this happiness, and I am the wise person. Look at those people, they are all suffering. I am the wise one. I have understood this. That is also bondage. How? Sattva. So friends, this is the most difficult part to understand. Majority of the people, they think if we go bathe in the holy water and then do some good work and acquire some good merit, then I am a spiritual person. I don't tell lies. I am not hurting others. That's the moral life. That is good. But that is not spirituality. Religion is realization, as Swami Vivekananda said, the realization of the truth. We have to go beyond that. So, Lord is mentioning even the sattva is also a rope. It's a good one, but still it binds. As Swami Vivekananda said, it is also the rope made of gold, the chain made of gold, that also binds. So this we have to understand. So even up to reaching over there, we should not be satisfied. We have to go beyond that. What will happen? We will come to that. Then Raja is arising desire and passion. We can understand that. Tremendous desire. I have to, all over the world you look at this, the people in the political region, they're constantly trying to get power, power, power. In the business world, people like to get money, money and money. And everywhere competition is going on. I like to acquire, I like to get. That's Raja. And in the Tama, that's the ignorance. You will find so many people after taking the narcotics, they are lying on like just human, but lying like in the dungeon, in the dirty place. What a waste. That is Tama. And when they get up, they like to kill others, they like to shoot others, they like to grab others. So that is called Tama, human being. They have the mind, they have the eye sense. But Tama is so much. So we can very clearly understand these three qualities. And then the ninth, it says, Sattva is happiness, again repeating. Why? So that it goes down into our mind and we can understand Sattva, happiness, but still it binds. Raja, action, is good, but still bind. Tama, of course, it destroys the discriminative capacity. The animal and the human being, no difference. And they think they are powerful, they think the people are afraid of them. So all those delusion. And 10th, they say that one guna predominant over the other. Let us begin from the 9th one. Sattam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata Jnanamavrittatu tama pramade sanjayatuta. We just explained that Sattam Sukhe Sanjayati. I am very happy and I am reading only scripture, I am writing the explanations, giving the spiritual talk, and by that way those people, they become very happy. Then that God realization, that zeal, it goes away. They are very satisfied over there, and people, they come touching their feet, and oh, you are such a holy person. He also start thinking, that also binds. Raja, of course, the karma. This karma is selfish work, not unselfish work. Swami Vivekananda, when he was introducing the karma, the action, and he was telling, go and serve the living gods and goddesses who are suffering. Majority of the people, the Hindus, they were protesting. Why you should say like that? So much of objection came from his own brother monks also. Then the Swamiji could tell them, read the Karma Yoga. And there the karma means we cannot sit idle. We are thinking, we are blinking, we are doing many other things. Why not do that for the betterment of others? And then it is not the only another being, it is God Himself manifested as per the Upanishad, Ishavashyam idam sarvam. So that when we perform work for the betterment of others without any expectation, that karma is not binding. That karma helping us to purify our mind. So this, when it says Raja, the karma, the action, it is with desire. And of course, the jnana avritta, the tama. Rajastamaschabhibhuya sattam bhavati bharata. Rajasattam tamaschaiva tamasattam rajastatha. You will find in the morning a person is so good, so kind, so gentle. And the same person in the noon time is behaving peculiarly. He is in anxiety, he is shouting, we were going to him. So one is sattva, then the raja, then comes the tama. And then evening time, the tired person, he will then go to the bar and drink a lot. He'll come back not knowing what he is doing, how he is walking. Somebody will drag him. The same person. The sattva, raja and tama predominating. See, when we are reading the scripture, if we look at our own life and the society, we will find it is so very a truth. The Lord is explaining and giving us, it is happening in our own life. We have seen people in the morning time, they are so good, so kind, so gentle, so helpful. Then in the noon and the afternoon, because of their pressure, because something happened, the business, he has lost a lot of money, then he goes, the karma, the raja. He is completely different type of person. And in the night, the same person, he is coming back, is behaving like that. He can't understand who is he, because so much of the wine he has taken, he drunk, the two other persons are almost dragging him. Sattva, Raja, Tama. This is happening. So we have to understand this. Then in the 11th verse it says, Swarvadvareshu dehashmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat bibridham sattamituta. Here we find the God is repeating. Almost the same thing again and again he is repeating. Why? It's by the repetition, when we are reading, again that goes into our mind. So it is so difficult. Sattva, Raja, Tama, these three qualities, that is within us. We are made of that. Now we have to turn our eyes towards us and we have to find, am I a Sattik man or a Rajasika or a Tamasika? So what is the Sattva? it is all joy, it is pleasure and all that. And tamashika, and it is all darkness, all make everything, all decision that I take, all wrong. And the thoughts are also completely jumbled up. They always, any person coming to them, they will think, oh, he is coming to harm me, like that only. A Raja in between. So, Lord is repeating in the 11th verse, again giving the example of the sattva, that constantly you are feeling that you are very happy. So, this is the way it goes. When through every sense the light of intelligence shines, that is called predominant sattva. And when he is looking, that time also he is full of joy, talking, he is hearing, in all way, when he is in joy, that is sattva predominant. Lobha pravittirarambha karmana ashamaspriya. Lobha pravittirarambha karmana ashamaspriya. Rajaseta nijayante bibridhe bharatarshava. Now, Raja, activity. What type of activity? Grabbing. I want to get this, I want to have this, I want to possess this, and for that I have to, how much this is, so I must do this. I must get some money and then do this, do that. So that is the way the people, they behave. In the Bhagavata, it says, when somebody is bragging about his power, about his wealth, don't go near him, because he is a sinner. They say, Bhagavad says like that. Then that means he is so much of bragging that sometimes people are so qualified, they earn a lot of money, but at the same time they have the sattva qualities also, good qualities, spiritual quality. They will be, there in the present day world you find there are millionaires, billionaires. They could be on the topmost of all the rich. Sometimes they will be giving the list of the rich people, but they will be on the 3rd or 4th or 5th grade, but they are happy. Why? They could be first, but they have, as we have read in the newspaper, that they have distributed their wealth to the poor people to support them, so that they have Raja, but at the same time Sattva. But some of the people, they are so selfish. They only want to grab that money, the power and the position. For how long? How long you will survive? Then sometimes, this is really very sad, a very rich man, his son passed away in an accident, daughter is also not listening to them. They are having so much of money, so much of wealth, and now they cannot come out of that, because the habit of grabbing, habit of possessing, even that they are almost in the last days, still they cannot come out. They cannot say, oh well, now that almost the last days have come, we won't be for 5-6 years. So whatever little necessary for our comfort, that we will keep, and then we will distribute. No, that will never come in their head. Afterwards, society will take it away, other people will enjoy, but still they cannot give. Why? The Raja. This is predominant Raja. So, and then it comes, and aprakasha prabittischa pramada moha evacha tamaseta nijayante bibridhe kurunandana. Aprakasha, they are completely ignorant. So that is the ignorance, and they also like to enjoy, but they are ignorant people. Many are there, the rich people, they are very rich, fabulously rich. But I have read and I have seen there in the society, some people are there who are selling narcotics. Can you imagine? And they will be selling it to the younger generation in the school, higher school, or in the colleges. Though they have their own children, but they don't have feeling, what I am going to do? my own people, my own countrymen, my own society, I am ruining them. They could be good doctors, they could be good engineers, scientists. And now I am tempting them because they are young, they do not know. They can't judge properly. I am tempting them and selling those and collecting money. Whoever is opposing, we are fighting with them, killing with them. So these things are going on in the society. What are those people? They are rich people. They will be going with beautiful dress to the higher society in the party and this, that. But they are tamasika. They don't know what is going to happen to them. The Lord will mention what is happening to them. No, not that. This is Lord's judgment is completely different. Maybe the law of the land cannot touch them because they are so powerful. But there is God and you cannot deceive the God. Now, aprakasha prakritista pramada moha evacha. Pramada. Pramada means he is thinking that I am correct. This is all modern time, just I want to enjoy, and for that if somebody is suffering, what I am going to do? So in that is called pramada. You are hurting yourself. The Swami Vivekananda said, why should you be moral? Because the morality ultimately paying back to me. I am going to be happy ultimately. It is true. Right this moment we cannot see doesn't mean it is not there. It works in subtle way. The effect is so subtle. But why should you be moral? Because I like to help myself. That's why I am not going to hurt others. So tamasya tani jayante bivriddhe kurunandana. Kurunandana means the Arjuna. He is addressing the Arjuna but telling to the humanities we shouldn't follow these. Yada sattve prabidhetu pralayam yati dehavrit tadattama vidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. Now, first he said, this whole, the creation, because of my power, which is named as Prakriti. Now what is this Prakriti? It is a special power and it has three special qualities, Sattva, Raja and Tama. And what are these Sattva, Raja and Tama? They binds. How you will know that you are bound by Sattva? He gave that example. Happiness. Then Raja, grabbing power, all the time active. Tama, exactly opposite. Is a delusion. They do not know actually what they are doing. Then what will happen? Now here in the 14th verse he said, Yada satte prabidhetu pralayam yati dehavid. Pralayam means death. When one dies, when his mind predominantly swatik. Swatik means that peace, that happiness, that joy, and no selfishness. So like that, in the sattva, that quality, if one person is dying, he will go to Amalan Lokan. That is the highest region called Brahma Loka. When I was reading the Ramayana, usually the third Thursday of every month, third Thursday, I read Ramayana, explain Ramayana, mainly basically for, as I am doing it now, for the Vedanta Studies Circle Naperville. I do that for the Vedanta Studies Circle Trinidad Tobago. So it is in the YouTube. In the Ramayana, when you are reading the Ramachandra met one Rishi, he was ready to go to the Brahma Loka. Why? He has acquired that merit. So he is not free, he is not mukta, but into that. He could understand Sri Ramachandra, though human form, is as a people they know that he is the son of Dasharatha, but he is the Param Brahma. So the Rishi waited to see the Ramachandra. That is the story. Then he said, Rama, because of the good merits that I could achieved. Now I am going to Brahmaloka. This is the Brahmaloka. Another Rishi also going to Brahmaloka. That is the last loka, highest loka. After that, mukti. It's called krama mukti. Slowly, it's mukti. But some people, right from the human birth, they straightway go to the mukti, the liberation. And what is that liberation? Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, here the Lord will say. So what happens when a person is a predominantly Swatik, is a good person, then he will go to the higher loka, the Brahma loka, where always the joy is there. But still, it is not mukti. The mukti he will be talking afterwards. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praleenastamasi mudha yonishu jayate. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Then now he is talking about the Raja. When person is dying, when he is in Raja, what will happen? Then it says that in the Raja, he will attain the family where there will be action. And he will become a king. He will become sometimes the children, they are born in a family, from there again they become very powerful. So sometimes we wonder why this man should be like this. Even in in a present day society, we find this family, their children, they are suddenly becoming very powerful because his father became this and that. So why that particular soul was born over there? Because he reached to that Raja condition. He was good person, but he was at a great desire, having the great desire. I want to grab power and all that. That is called Rajasi. At that time when he is dying, he will achieve that. Those who have read our Chandi, Sri Sri Chandi Saptasati, you know, the two persons, they were worshipping goddess Durga, the Shakti. And when the goddess Durga appeared before them and wanted to give them boon, very interestingly, the person, the businessman, he said, I want mukti. I want liberation. I don't like to take birth again. So from the circle of birth and death, he was removed. He merged with the original. That is the Brahman. That is the God. But the other one, the king, he said, no, mother, I want to become a very powerful king. Rajasi. So this is called Rajasic power. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also mentioned about Mathur Babu. He was a great devotee. He used to support Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in a many different ways. Sri Ramakrishna used to love him so much. Though the God himself, Sri Ramakrishna, used to love him, even then, when he died, at that moment, the Mathur Babu, he was thinking that he will become a more powerful king. He was a very rich landlord, but he was not satisfied being a landlord. He wanted to be a powerful king, ruling over millions and millions of people. Sri Ramakrishna said he will become a king. So though we are, the Mathur Babu was in association with the God himself. But it is not the God, it is not other thing, it is my desire. It is the individual desire. So the Lord Sri Krishna is mentioning, whatever you are thinking, right in the time of your death, predominantly if it is Sattva, you will go to Brahmaloka. Raja, you will take birth, but in a whatever the power that you want, even. What about Tama? They will take birth as animals or the reptiles or the birds and like that. Why? Because in their mind that was predominant. They're so nasty type of thoughts. They never could love others. So that is the one should be. That's why again, remember the Swami Vivekananda's words. Why should be moral? Otherwise, we are hurting ourselves. That is the reason. Tatha pralinas tamasi. Pralina means death. Tamasi, when your mind predominantly tama, mudha yoni shujayate. Mudha yoni means and the birth of the animals and reptiles and all that. Karmana sukrita sahu sattikam nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasa phalam. Again, in the 16th verse also, the Lord is mentioning that if it is sattika, then it is happiness. If it is raja, the result of your practice. If you are in the sattika, loving others, helping others, serving others, then your mind will be very happy. And the raja, you are doing helping, but with your what's called ego. Hey, don't forget that I have helped you. So by that way, a phala will be dukkha. Sometimes we help someone and then we find they are not recognizing, then we feel very much pain. This is normal experience. We should be careful. Why am I expecting that somebody should be telling, oh, I am so happy that you have served me, you have given me this. Why should I have to? I failed to help, I help. That's all. So that is called sattva. The raja, dukkha. And tama, all is opposite. Oh, why should he be so happy? So we must have to complain against him. Look at him, he is doing very good. Why should he do like that? All people are appreciating. So unnecessarily they become so jealous. That is called tama. Friends, if we look at the society, in our family, among our friends, relatives, and we find everything is so true. And in 17 verse it says, Satyat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evacha pramada moho tamaso bhavata jnanam evacha urdham gachanti sattastha madhe tishtanti rajasaha jaganna gunavrittistha adho gachanti tamasaha nannam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtam anupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhi gacchati. Again and again, almost the same thing as I was telling, the Lord is repeating. And he is telling that urdham gachanti sattastha. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. In the sattva, it is the knowledge. What is that knowledge? This world is temporary. My body is temporary. So that knowledge comes. When the temporariness that comes in the mind, so naturally I want this, I want that goes away. Enough is enough. It is not necessary. So I have noticed over here in America, when the young people they come, they like to settle, they will be studying, then they will get the job, they will marry, and they will purchase a big house, they will be so happy. And afterwards their children slowly for their education, this, that, and then afterwards when they are retired, they sell that big house, go to a small house. So they understand now it is not necessary. Who is going to maintain that big house? Let us go to an apartment. So like that. So slowly they like to give away. So this is the way we can understand. First we like to grab and then we understand it is not necessary. Whatever the little is necessary for me, that will be sufficient. So slowly they go away. And then a time will come. At the beginning they want to be in the limelight every time in the society, everywhere. Then a time comes, slowly they go back and then in one room they will be there. So this is the life goes like this. We manifest and then we evolve and then again go back to involution. So this is the way, if we can understand, that is called sattva. That is sattva buddhi. Raja buddhi, a little, the greed is there. Though I know that I am old, I am going to die, still they cannot give up the grabbing the thing. So I must go somehow. So this is the way we have to understand. The spirituality means a clear understanding. So the Lord repeating sattva raja tama, sattva raja tama. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also used to repeat almost in his own in a talk sometimes. Then one of his attendants, who was all the time with him, he said, "Why you repeat the same thing everywhere?" The Sri Ramakrishna, in his unique way, he said, "I should do that. What is that to you?" The Sri Ramakrishna knew that every time, that when we are talking, sometimes some people will say, "Oh, Swamiji, I regularly listen to your talk. The other day you were telling this." I was never telling that. The heart, and then they mixed up with somebody else or just added his own idea, then they were telling, "When you said like that, did I? So can you please go back?" And nowadays it is very good. You can go back to the YouTube and again listen to that. "Can you please go back to the YouTube and listen to that talk? I think I said in this way." So again and again and again, if you go on telling, then only it goes down. Otherwise, make the misunderstanding that develops. So it says, "The pramada moham tamaso bhavata ajnanamevacha urdham gacchanti shastastha." As we have already, they're repeating, the Lord is repeating, they go to the highest region. And madhye tishtanti rajasa. And tama, it goes back. Raja, they are always over here, and the tama, they go to the nether world. Nannam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtum anupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhi gacchati. This is very important. When you understand these three qualities and go beyond these three qualities, what you will find? It is me. You will find the God. The Swami Vivekananda composed a beautiful poem, The Cup. There he is mentioning, see, I have put your friend in a very nice path, and he is walking nicely, tears coming towards me. I have put you on a very difficult path. Every time, in every step, you are suffering. But don't stop. Come to me. And when you can, and why you are suffering? Because of your past karma. The dark drink of your own brew of fault and passion, ages long ago, the cup. The cup means you are drinking a cup of coffee. So, as if in my life, whatever the actions that I have taken, the thought, the action, all those results are giving me all those things. So I am not going to blame anybody. I know that, that is okay. I made the mistake. Now I am going to rectify it. That is called Vedanta. Vedanta means the strong mind. I am not going to blame anyone. Because of so and so, I am in this condition. No, nothing like that. If the karma phala depends on myself. And if it is so, I am going to rectify. So that is the way it goes. And he says, when you are overcoming these three qualities, tama, never ever. Raja, well, now we are in the Raja, mixed up Raja and little tama. Sattva is also there. Otherwise, why every month we will be listening to the Bhagavad Gita? Why attending these? Why trying to meditate? Must be sattva is there. Predominantly Raja, okay, we should overcome it. Let us prepare, and they are preparing. And when the sattva comes, then also they should not forget this is also a golden chain binding. And when they are that, let us go. So he says, Gunan etan atitya trin gunan. Three, sattarajatama, guna, the qualities, etan, these, that has already been said, dehi deho samudbhavan, from the dehi, the human being, the self which is bound within the body. Now the body is just nothing but a outer grab. Inside is that Atman. It is there, so close to me. It is reflecting on my mind. Unfortunately, I am thinking I am this body. Now, body is the above. It is covering that consciousness. Now, instead of thinking about the consciousness, I am thinking about the body. The moment you can overcome that, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkhai, Vimukta, then you go beyond the circle of birth and death. Arjuna, as is always, immediately, can you give me the example? Has anybody achieved this position? Then if they have, then how you will understand that now this gives all this, so this is the thing you have to practice and you will happen. Now its theories are all right, but has anybody practiced this theory and truly became successful? If they are successful, how we will recognize them, understand them? Then Arjuna is asking, Arjuna vacha Korilinga strini gunan etan atito bhavati prabho kimachara katham chaitan tringunan ativartate. He is telling, okay, O Lord, then when you are telling that it must be true, but can you please tell me how to recognize these people? Those who have already gone beyond the three qualities? Is it that when they go beyond the three qualities, all are dead? So after death only they go and there is no chances to go and see and examine? See, nowadays, even when we are going for a toothbrush, to purchase a toothbrush or a toothpaste, immediately they will go, oh, now this particular brand is having 5 star. They are good. Some people they put, I don't know who gave, but anyway, we can believe that's a good thing, so we go. And here, the Arjuna is also, it is okay. But is it true that after these they are still surviving, living in this world? Then that is great. We can go and see, we can go and talk, we can go and examine. And by seeing is only believing. When we go and realize, we see, we talk, that is the realization. You say, if you go to God, then this will happen. Has anybody gone and come back? How will you explain? The heaven is so wonderful, heaven is so good. Have you visited heaven? If not, why you say like that? If anybody has, let me introduce, and then I will go and talk to that person. Let me see that. This is the way the Arjuna is asking, sir, can you please prove that? What is the conduct and how does he pass beyond these 3 gunas? How could he go beyond these? And after crossing that, it is nothing but you. So obviously, he has realized you. The 3 gunas are only 3 cartons. And when you go beyond these 3 cartons, one after another, remove them, then the sun. Then what happens after realization of the God? How he behaves? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittin cha mohameva cha pandava nadvesti sampravittani nanirvittani kankshati udasina vadasina gunaiyo na vichallate guna vartanta ittevam yovatisthati nengate samadukha sukha svasta samaloshmasma kanchanaha tulla priya priyo dhira tulla nindasta samstutihi. So he goes on giving, so these way he lives. Friends, those who are continuing this class, you know, but many of you must have read. Bhagavad Gita is a very popular scripture. And there in the second chapter also, Arjuna wanted to know what happens. And the Lord gave, and so you said that there are people who have realized God, and so what happens to them, how we will recognize. They gave all this list. In the Uddhava Gita also, another great disciple of Sri Krishna, it is in the Bhagavata, a part of the Bhagavata. He is also asking, can you please give us the example how you can recognize a God-realized person? And here also we find, when the Arjuna is asking, the Lord is giving the example that these are the characteristics of a God-realized person. After crossing the three guna, I know this body is nothing but like a boat. I am using this body to go beyond the other shore. I am just sailing using this boat. But this is not the original thing. Original thing is completely different. So like that, we know the sattva, raja, tama, three qualities. Now Lord has again and again and again tried to give us the complete idea of these three qualities. Now understanding these three qualities, if someone is trying very hard, sincerely, and then what happens to him? Lord said, he is coming to me. I, the God, all-pervading. It is not the Krishna. It is the all-pervading consciousness. The Krishna in that form, if you think it is okay. But in reality, it is the all-pervading consciousness. So he says in this way, and he says, he who hates not the appearance of light, activity and delusion. Prakasham cha prabittam cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti. Is not hating. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna again. You know why I give all the time the quotation from the Sri Ramakrishna Ma Sharada Swamiji? Because they lived the life of the scripture. Of course, Swami Vivekananda said, when you read the scripture, you must read through the light of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That will be, then you can understand it very clearly. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, but he is mixing with whom? He is mixing with the drunkard people, very ordinary people, and sometimes the prostitutes, and so many different type of people Sri Ramakrishna is mixing with. But he is not affected. He is not hating them. Other people are telling, don't go to them. They are all very, not very pure people. They are sinners. They committed this, they committed that. Sri Ramakrishna he went over there, talked to them. Not only that, which was very unusual for Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he touched them, keeping his right hand on their head, blessed them. So here we find a man when goes beyond these three gunas, he is not hating any quality. Those who are ignorant, he is not hating that ignorance. Those who are very eager to grab the money and power, he is not hating that grabbing capacity or the sattva guna. He is not. The Lord Jesus also said, hate the sin, not the sinner. So those qualities which are binding them, it's so powerful, it's very difficult to go beyond that. So when the people are of that coming, so man who has already crossed that, he never hate them. Prakasham cha pravittim cha mohameva cha pandava. The three effect of the qualities. Na dveshti sampravittani, na nivrittani kangshati. No long for them absent. Then it says, udasinavat asino, gunaryo na vichallate, guna vartante ittevam, yo avatishtati nengati. And it says, yo avatishtati, then what happens to them? Udasina bad asina. He never cares for what is happening. The udasina means not at all interested in those things. He is observing, seeing all this, but not at all interested. So suppose we go to some other country as a tourist, and then we find there are some political upheavals going on. We are not involved into that. Oh, is it happening? Are the roads clear today? Can we go over there? So we are not attached to that. But the local people are so much attached to. Why? Udasina vadasina. The whole world, so many things are going on, but the man of realization, he will be there, but not affected by those. He will be inquiring about that, he will be asking about that, but not affected. That is the Samadukka Sukha, and it says that in the 24th verse, Samadukka Sukha Swasta Samalustashma Kanchana. Samadukka Sukha Swasta Samalustashma Kanchana Tulla Priya Priyo Dhira Tulla Nindatma Shamstuti. So these are the qualities. When some people, they claim that they are God-realized souls, then these are the yardsticks. We should go and check, are they truly having these qualities? Then it's okay. Otherwise, well, they are claiming that much. But they won't be able to help me to go beyond this ocean. We have to understand that. One must be, at least that much clarity should be there. That's why this Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, why the Lord will be telling all this again and again? What is Sattva, what is Raja, what is Tama, and then what happened after death, and then if you go beyond this in your while leaving, what will happen? So how you can identify a person? Why he is telling this? He is Udashina, he is unattached in everything. But he is living there. He is also knowing very well what are the effects of the Sattva, Raja, Tama. When he sees those gunas, those capacities, he is not hating them. So this is the way we have to understand. Samadukka Sukha Swasta Samalustashma Kanchana. He is equal sometimes when they are happy, or the suffering, or the praising, or criticism. He is all equal. So this is the way. Manapo manaya stulla stullar mitrari pakshayaha sarvarambha parityagi gunatita sa uchyate mamchaya vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitvaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya vayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasvaikantikasya cha. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga Nama Chatuddashadhyayaha. Friends, this is the last class of this session. Now, usually the January and February is very cold here in Chicago. So obviously most of the people, they leave Chicago, they go somewhere else. The Indians, they like to go to India that time. So like this it happens. So we also stop giving the classes. We will meet again, maybe in person from the March. Now I just concluded this chapter. Maybe we will begin by completing this chapter again from the March. And I just like to remind you, you must have already received the flyers. If you are not receiving our flyer and if you are interested, you can please write to me giving your email address. Swami, please include me in your Google group. So then I will include, and you will be going on receiving all our program, etc. So these are the first announcement. I like to say that on 24th evening, of course online, but we will be celebrating the Christmas Eve. 26th is the Sunday. We will have the both. Those who will be coming over here in person, they can attend the puja, and it will be online also. So this hybrid system on 26th, and 1st January also will be celebrating the same way. So thank you, friends. Is there any question?
Just one question. Akshay is asking, I have heard that sattva and tamas look alike outside. How do you know whether our calmness or peace is due to tamas or sattva?
That is a wonderful question, Akshay. But at the same time, when you are mixing with that person, you will understand. Just a person sitting quietly, you cannot. So, but you will feel he won't be able to hide his own nature. So when he will be expressing the selfishness, he will know that it is tamasika. And he will say, don't go and mix with those people. You should come to me. You should follow these. Don't eat these. Don't eat that. Don't do this. Don't do that. There will be all the time negative thing. So that person, though claiming that he is highly spiritual, though we have the reason to doubt. But those who are swatika, they always love others. They always, they will never complain against, oh, he is like this, he is like that, never. Because they know it is natural, and they will rather help you because they love. So the love and unselfishness, this is the great thing that we can understand a person who has gone beyond these three gunas and reached to God. Thank you, Akshay. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Thank you, friends. Enjoy wherever you are, I don't know, all over the world. But if you are here in America, and particularly in the Illinois and the Chicago, enjoy the winter. I enjoy the winter. All calm, all composed, and everywhere the white. And remember the Lord Shiva. The white is the symbol of sattva, all love. So enjoy the winter. Thank you very much.